I am excited to talk about this topic and how to use it when you're creating whatever it is that you desire. If you've ever heard of the phrase embodiment or living in the end, who you're assuming yourself to be, the end state, any of those phrases, and you're sitting there thinking, what does that truly mean? Some people can sometimes think that manifestation is about waiting and hoping that something will happen, or it's something that you get your hopes up for, but it's actually not true at all. It's about truly stepping into alignment with the version of yourself that already has your manifestation, which is why they call it the end state. Embodiment is about becoming the version of you that already has your said manifestation, and this is why becoming conscious and aware of the micro decisions and the actions that you're doing throughout the day is the most important thing, because you are choosing whatever state you're in a moment-to-moment basis, and you can choose the end state at any time. So whatever state you're dominantly in naturally creates in your life, and this is why you'll see a lot of people get stuck in the state of just looking outside of themselves for validation. It keeps them in the state of not having their manifestation, and it keeps you in the state of constantly looking for validation. So that's a state. You can just as easily go into the state of already having it, and this is why some people just say be delusional, because yes, you kind of are, but in a sense you're not, because you've done this with everything in your life before. And what is embodiment or living in the end, and why is it such a big deal or such a large component when it comes to creating whatever it is you desire? It's about truly living in the mindset and aligning your emotions, your behaviors, your thoughts, your assumptions with the version of yourself that already has it. Imagine you're manifesting a dream job. Most people, you can do your robotic affirmations, I'm successful, or I have my dream job, which is great. But then their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions are not in alignment with that version of themselves, and their most dominant thoughts are rooted in self-doubt, pity, victimization, stress. Now let's look at the version of you that already has this job. How do they feel when they wake up in the morning? How do they talk to themselves? How do they spend their time? How do they carry themselves? How do they handle themselves? Are they calm? Are they confident? Are they stable? Are they persistent? Are they reliable? That version of you doesn't doubt yourself or think that they're not good enough. They're not even in the state of thinking that they're not good enough, because they don't even have time to think those thoughts. The key to embodiment is truly bringing that version of yourself into the present moment, not waiting for something outside of you to validate yourself. So this is the biggest part, in my honest opinion, and I don't think it's talked about enough. Looking to your outer experience or your current reality for validation of whatever it is you desire. Yes, manifestation is instant, and there is such thing as instant manifestation. You need to be so confident in what you're creating and leave no room for giving up. The reason I don't agree with looking for validation is if you truly had whatever it is you desire, you wouldn't really feel the need to check on it 24/7. You wouldn't really feel the need to look for it or see if what you're applying is working. You either have it or you don't have it. If you're constantly in the state of looking for validation, so whatever dominant state you're in, you're going to get that story. You might be thinking, okay, how does embodying the version of myself that already has my manifestation actually help my manifestation or actually make it happen? The science behind this, your brain and your body does not know the difference between imagination versus reality. The thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, and the way you move all send signals to your subconscious mind what you're truly tuned into and what you're truly believing. Think of it almost like a radio station. If you're tuned into the frequency of self-doubt, fear, not feeling good enough, wondering if what you're applying is working, wondering when it's gonna happen, worrying about the how, worrying why it's taking so long, or waiting for something to happen, or looking outside of you for validation. You're going to continue to experience that state or that frequency. You're going to continue to experience that, which is why when you stay in that state, you're literally broadcasting to your brain and your body and your outer world a signal that literally keeps you stuck in that state. And this is truly how simple manifestation is. When you shift or when you tune your frequency to something that is rooted in confidence, that is rooted in someone who already has their desire, that takes bold action, that makes decisions from a place of self-love and honoring themselves, it automatically tunes you into the frequency of having your desire. And that's when you'll see your manifestation coming into your life. You're not just wishing for something, you're actually becoming the version of you and deciding that you're that version of you every second of every day. And it's so fun because once you really step into that version of you, you stop worrying about things. You stop worrying about the time. You stop asking questions. You stop watching content all day long. Notice too, whenever I finally stepped into the version of myself that had my manifestation, I was a person that loved watching tarot. And it was something that, and I'm not shaming it. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it keeps people stuck and it reiterates old stories and it reiterates something that you don't want to experience anymore. If you truly had it, would you even have the time to sit and watch those videos? Would you even want to? No. So that's where your micro decisions become super important. It's okay if you can't adjust it right away. Your old state might try to bring you back into, the self-doubt and the fear, and that's where you need to persist with your affirmations and your breath work. How do you actually step into this version of you? How do you actually shift your state of being? How can you actually make these changes and start seeing results in your life? I'm going to break it down into 4 key steps for you guys. Shift your internal state first. Your emotions and your thoughts create your reality. If you're constantly feeling like your dream is out of reach, I want you to truly start asking yourself and start feeling, how would I feel right now if I truly had my manifestation? How would I truly feel? Would I feel confident? Would I feel happy? Would I feel joyful? Would I be excited? Would I be grounded? Would I be doing my breath work daily? Would I be going on walks? Would I be prioritizing my mental health? Would I be prioritizing my, water intake, eating healthier? What would I be doing? Whatever, use. And the reason why shifting your internal state is so important, and this is where tools are important. So affirmations. This is where you'll see people use things like robotic affirming, visualizing, music, movement. Actually become the version of yourself that has it. The tools are there to help reinforce that state or to help reinforce that belief. Whatever helps you access that state is what you need to actually prioritize and use. So I love coming to YouTube, and I've loved when I was, first learning about manifestation, I loved coming to YouTube to watch content. But it got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm not seeing any results. And then I got real with myself and I was like, it's because I'm not actually applying the content. I'm sitting here and watching it, but am I actually changing my thoughts? Am I actually doing my breath work? Am I actually prioritizing my state? No. I'm sitting here and watching content all day long, which kind of wouldn't be the version of myself that already had my manifestation. If I already had it, I probably would be listening to fun music. I'd be going to the gym. I'd be hanging out with friends. I'd be getting, whatever it is I need to get done in my life. I'd be creating routines. And that's when I started seeing my manifestations materialize in. It's truly that simple. Number 2, move, speak, and act like this version of you. If your future self walked into a room, how would they speak? How would they carry themselves? How would they interact with others? How would they handle stress? For example, if you're manifesting financial success, does your next level self constantly stress about where the money is coming from? or constantly stress about how much money you have in your bank account? Or do they trust and know that money is constantly flowing in from expected and unexpected places? Are they so excited to spend their money because they know that more is coming? Now, this doesn't say if you are in a financial bind right now to go and just blow all your money, but to just feel into that. The thoughts you're thinking is also, like, I think one of the most important components to this. If you're manifesting a relationship, if you're manifesting love, whether that be a specific person or not, you don't know who it is yet. Does your next level self, does that version of you need validation 24/7? Are they desperate to be in a relationship? Or are they trusting and knowing that their worth and value will naturally attract whatever it is they desire? Start practicing those behaviors now. Stand taller, realize your worth, speak with more confidence, make decisions from a place of self-trust and self-belief. Your body and mind will naturally start to integrate this as your new normal. So make decisions for yourself in the end state. I always love to say, would this version of me be doing this? If I truly had my whatever it is I wanted, would I be doing this thing? If it was something that let's say I wanted to create a YouTube video, would I be hesitating to create content? Would I be hesitating to invest in myself? Would they say yes to an opportunity? Embodiment means taking aligned action, not waiting for your external world to change first. So you can wait if you want to, but I highly recommend you don't, because the longer you sit there and wait and hope for things to change and not apply yourself and not change anything about your routines or your day-to-day or your thoughts, it's going to feel very frustrating, and it's going to keep you in the state of not having your manifestation. Number 4, I'm sure you guys know, this is my favorite thing in the world. Regulate your nervous system. This key component is such a game changer. This, coupling with the decision of I always get what I want, is so insane. A lot of people start embodying their future self, but then their subconscious freaks out because it feels unfamiliar. And this is why I got a comment the other day of someone asking me, I'm affirming, but I'm starting to get anxious when I'm affirming. Is this when I integrate nervous system regulation? And my answer is yes, because your body is probably not used to those beliefs, or it's not seeing any evidence of that manifestation yet. So it's fighting against whatever you're affirming or whatever you're thinking. And it's starting to bring up dissonance within your body, and your nervous system is going to go off kilter. This is why nervous system regulation and doing your breath work and prioritizing that piece is so important, because it knocks out any worry, doubt, and fear and anxiety. Just trust me. I promise you, you will thank me later. So the reason why you'll see like self-sabotaging behaviors happen is because your nervous system is so unfamiliar with this belief. To prevent that, you literally need to train your nervous system to feel safe in your new reality. Breath work, meditation, working out, grounding exercises that help you hold on to the end state without slipping back into old patterns. This is the quote. So someone I saw on Twitter said, the real cheat code for leveling up isn't more effort, it's training your nervous system to handle higher levels of success without self-sabotage. This is so true, and coming from someone who struggled with self-sabotaging behaviors in the past, please do your breath work. Just trust me. Just trust me. And then also, it's so fun because I've actually received manifestations while doing breath work. Like, it automatically raises your state of being. The missing piece that a lot of people tend to skip over or tend to not put as much importance on. I know I did this, so I know somebody else out there is too. The crucial part of embodiment isn't just about what you're doing. It's about what you truly believe at a core foundational level. I'm going to say that again. Embodiment isn't just about what you do. It's about what you truly believe at a core foundational level. it's also okay to take breaks and to just focus on nervous system regulation first before bringing in affirmations. The reason why I, harp so much on nervous system regulation is because it truly saves you a lot of headache and a lot of unnecessary feelings of worries, doubts, and fears, and it's such an easy way to shift your state of being. So work on the assumptions. Law of assumption is such an awesome thing, and it's so simple, so simple. So truly step into that version of you. Like, even if you have to sit down and write on a sheet of paper what that person would be doing, what they would be prioritizing, how would they be acting, how would they be dressing, and to truly step into that version of you, because it's going to naturally create in your experience. And when you do that, your reality shifts so quick. You're so powerful, and you have full control over your life. I love you, and I have 600 of you guys here now, which is crazy. I am just so happy to see this channel growing and expanding. Not that I manifested that or anything. Yeah, let me know what you guys would like to see in the comments down below, or on my community tab. I post quite frequently on there. Truly embody the version of yourself that has it, and watch how quickly things shift for you. But I love you guys, and always remember to respect yourself, love yourself, honor yourself, and you deserve the best because you said so. Bye.